So, hello everyone, we just got a huge update news from the PEGAXY team. So the prize pool has been changed, you can now fuse Pegas and much more. So firstly is fusing. So as you can see here, it essentially means combining two Pegas to get a higher rarity Pega. You can combine or fuse two Pacers for 12,000 VIS and 60 PGX in order to get a rare with a 4 out of 7 read count. Then you can combine two rares with 20,000 VIS and 120 PGX to get one epic with a breed count of 5 out of 7. And lastly, you can combine two epic Pegas and 32,000 VIS and 240 PGX spent in order to get one legendary Pega with a 6 out of 7 breed count. So if you are wondering how will the fused Pega stats be based off, it will be randomized RNG, just like how breeding used to be before the genetic update. The gender will also be random, and the fused Pega will have no cooldowns when it comes to being able to breed and race. So after you combine two Pegas, the combined Pega can race immediately. Now lastly, which is one of the biggest parts of this news, and for me, one of the saddest since I am only a recent investor into PEGAXY, is that there is now a lower prize pool. For Pacer horses, firstly, you now win 27 VIS per first place win, then 12 VIS for second place, and for third place you only get 6 VIS. So only getting 27 VIS instead of 105 is like an 80 VIS difference when you get gold. So I would be lying if I told you guys that this change isn't painful for me. But hopefully the economy of the game will get better. But I am kind of wary when it comes to this because in Axie, they already removed the daily quest and adventure, yet SLP is still hovering or is still below 1 peso. So if your Pega is a racer and it wins first place, you also only get 60 VIS and 25 for second place and for third place 15. So compared to the previous gold place win, there's like a 40 VIS difference if your Pega is rare because you used to win 105 VIS per first place gold. But if your Pega is an epic and or a legendary and founding, you can actually win more VIS now when it comes to first place. Because when it comes to first place, an epic Pega will now win 135 VIS and a legendary and founding Pega will win 300 VIS. There's actually some fan backlash to this update. So as you can see here, so here's the original post for the new update. And we can see one of the comments here. Let me read them out for you. So, PEGAXY Goddess says, did you ever think that burning is not the problem? PEGAXY has good burning mechanics, but VIS is still down. Why? Because no investors want to come in if you want to reduce rewards if you think you'll attract investors. That's PEGAXY Goddess's question. So, I actually kind of agree with her or him. Because VIS already has a good burning ratio, but the price was still going down. And Corey Wilton actually responded to this saying that burning alone will not raise the price of a token or like a coin. What will raise the price of VIS is having new investors on board the game. Pepe the Frog says from Real Deal Guild, this was a good update actually, but it doesn't fit in the current gameplay since the win rates are still depending on the random stats of Stadium and of course the horse's stat. Instead, put this update when the controller gameplay is released. You guys should reconsider about this. So I actually agree with this. The update isn't really that bad, but I think it is more appropriate if you apply these new changes to the prize pool when the gameplay is more about you controlling the horse itself instead of an RNG gameplay. So there's actually a meme here, VIS burning mechanism, no. Pega burning mechanism, no. Player burning mechanism, yes. So Russell created an unofficial poll since they don't seem to care about our input beforehand. So the poll, do you agree with the proposed changes that will dramatically and suddenly reduce the VIS reward for Pacers and PEGAXY? If you do, would love to hear why. So as you can see, 80% have voted no, including me. So Investo Pinoy, so I think this person is a Filipino, says, I do hope Corey Wilton will implement a system that will be fair to all investors who only thought to provide income to scholars. Note that most Pacer owners bought at a higher price of Pega and breeding. This looks unfair for buyers as of February and to new buyers, which I see his point. But Claudia says, until this change, there was no sense in holding a more rare Pega such as Legendary or Epic, which I could see because now there's actually a big incentive to get higher rarity Pegas. So Russell has replied, well, you do have a good point with that. we'll see what happens. I guess the hope is that those higher level Pega start selling at a very high price. Racing will definitely be a much rarer thing now. So Ikigai Gaming also is giving away Pegasus scholarship says, Pegasus officials should have considered that 90% of their players have limited funds and are sitting at a 90% loss. The negative sentiment and incomplete and contradicting stats matter versus stats don't matter since we're cutting pacer VIS by 75% will completely piss players. So there's actually a lot of fun backlash to these new changes. It's actually been implemented as of now. For me, I still have good faith in Pegasus because I think Corey Wilton is very transparent compared to other developers of other NFT games. He actually engages with a lot of the community. So I hope he hears the backlash to these new changes, and I hope something will be done because I do not think now is the right time to lower the amount of VIS you can earn from pacers since this is still RNG gameplay and a lot of players are like having 10% scholarships, 20%, 30%, and now their pacer horses that they are being a scholar to will only win like 6 VIS if it's third place, 12. So it's like very low. So I really hope there will be change and I will keep you guys updated with the situation. Thank you for watching.